welcome to the 9th standard social science class. Now we are going to discuss the third chapter of social science second, national income. Through this chapter we will learn what is national income, how we can measure national income, which are the major concepts of national income, etc. National income share of agriculture sector has declined. Industrial growth inevitable for increase in national income. National income service sector continues to be biggest contributor. These are some news headlines related to national income. It gives the idea of importance of national income in all walks of our life. National income indicates the economic condition of a country. A higher national income implies economic progress of a country. Before we go into national income, we must know two topics, personal income and family income. What is personal income? Personal income is the income of a person from all sources during a year. But family income is the income of the family members from all sources during a year. First, we going to study the definition of national income. There are different ways to define national income. They are the total income received by a country in 1 year is its national income. It is the amount earned from the production of final goods and services in a country during a year. This is received mainly from three sectors: agricultural sector, industrial sector, and service sector. Adding up the income from these three sectors, we will get national income. The important definition is that national income is the money value of all final goods and services produced in a country during a financial year. The table shows the national income of different countries. After analyzing the table, we can understand that USA has the highest national income in 2010, 2013 and 2014. We can also say that national income of that country is increasing. National income of India is also increasing, but it is less than USA. China's national income is also increasing these years. Let us discuss the objectives of calculating national income. Every country measures its national income. Some objectives are behind this. They are: first one, to measure the economic growth of the country. Second, to compare the economic growth of different countries. Third, to assess the contribution of different sectors in the economy. Primary sector, secondary sector, and tertiary sector are the different sectors. After measuring national income, we can understand the contribution of these sectors. Next one, to study the problems faced by the economy. Another one, to help the government in planning and implementing different projects. Last one, to find out the limitations and advantages of economic activities like production, consumption and distribution. Production, consumption and distributions are the basic economic activities in an economy. These are the objectives of measuring national income. Let us see a few concepts of national income. Most important among them are gross national product, gross domestic product, net national product, and per capita income. Gross National Product or GNP. It is an important concept of national income. It is the money value of all final goods and services produced in a country during a financial year. Final goods are those goods which can directly consume. Example, mobile phone, pen, shirt, etc. In India, a financial year is from 1st April to 31st March. Another major concept of national income is gross domestic product or GDP. The GDP of a country is the total money value of all the final goods and services produced within the domestic territory during a financial year. Domestic territory means geographical territory. The income of people working abroad and the profit of institutions and firms operating abroad will not be included while calculating the gross domestic product. Another concept is net national product or NNP. In industry, when production is going on, machinery and other things suffer from wear and tear. The cost incurred to remedy this wear and tear is termed as depreciation charges. When we deduct depreciation charges from the gross national product, we get the net national product. Technically, the net national product is considered as national income. NNP is equal to GNP minus depreciation charges. Last one is per capita income. When we divide the national income by population, we get per capita income. It helps to know the economic position of a country and to compare it with other countries. Therefore, per capita income is equal to national income divided by total population. The economic condition of a country is calculated on the basis of national income. It is necessary to increase production for economic prosperity. When production increases, the rewards of factors for production like land, labor, capital and organization also increases. The increase in rewards such as rent, wages, interest and profit result in increased consumption and investment. That is, when production increases, the income also increases. When income increases, expenditure also increases. Therefore, production, income and expenditure are interrelated. There are three methods for estimating national income. They are product method, income method and expenditure method. While we discussing the methods of measuring national income, the first one is product method. Under the product method, the national income is calculated by adding up the money value of all final goods and services produced by the primary, secondary and tertiary sectors. The main advantages of this method is it is useful for assessing the contribution of each of these sectors towards the national income. Another one, it is also used to analyze which sector contributes the most to the national income. The second method of measuring national income is income method. Income is the reward received for the factors of production. In income method, national income is calculated based on rent, wages, interest and profit, which are the rewards for factors of production. That is, national income is the sum of total rent, wages, interest and profit. The main advantage of this method is helpful in analyzing the contribution of each factor of production to the national income. The third method of measuring national income is expenditure method. The expenditure method is used to estimate the national income by calculating the expenditure incurred by individuals, firms and government in a particular year. The summation of consumption expenditure, investment expenditure and government expenditure gives the total expenditure. That is, in expenditure method, national income is the summation of consumption expenditure, investment expenditure and government expenditure. The main advantage or merit of this method is that this method helpful to understand the total expenditure of individual, firms and government. Then we can understand who estimates national income in India. The Central Statistical Office CSO is the official agency that estimates the national income of India. The estimation is done mainly for the purpose of planning and development activities of the government. It also helps to understand the nature of the employment sectors and the types of employment the people are engaged in. In India, we make use of the product, income and expenditure methods to estimate the national income. The assessment of national income is a tough job. It is challenged by many practical issues. Let us examine a few of them. First one, lack of reliable statistical data. It creates difficulty in estimating national income. Second one, there is a chance for double counting. Double counting means counting the value of a commodity more than one. Third one, services of housewives is not included in national income. Next one, the production of goods for self-consumption is not included in the estimation of national income. Another one, ignorance and illiteracy of people creates problem in collection of statistical data. Next one, the practical difficulty in assessing the money value of services is another challenge. Last one, consumers seldom maintain records of expenditure. These are the challenges faced by the national income accounting. The table shows the share of three sectors to the GDP of India. In 2015-16, the tertiary sector contributes more. In 2016-17 and 2017-18 also, tertiary sector contributes more compared to other sectors. The recent trends in the contribution of various sectors to the national income of India show an increase in the growth of the service sector. The secondary and tertiary sectors have come to contribute more to the national income than the primary sector. Next question is, which are the things helps the growth of tertiary sector? As a part of development, the rise in the establishment of educational institutions and hospitals along with the advancement in banking, insurance and telecommunications have helped in the growth of the tertiary sector. With economic growth, people are more willing to participate in transport and tourism. Development of knowledge-based industries has also helped in the growth of the tertiary sector. Last topic is knowledge sector. The knowledge sector is the sector which efficiently uses knowledge and technology to attain economic growth. Today, modern technology and information and communication possibilities have grown and developed into knowledge economy. Education, innovation and information and communication technology form the basis of knowledge economy. In knowledge economy, production and consumption of intellectual capital take place. India has achieved immense progress in information and communication technology. So much so that today we are a global service provider in the field of software technology. As a result of this knowledge boom, India can enhance the welfare of the people through an increase in economic growth. Some favorable factors which can help India grow further in this sector are human resource including technical experts who are well versed in the English language, wide domestic market, strong private sector, and development of science and technology are the favorable factors which can help India grow further in the knowledge sector.